Welcome to this series of brief devotions for Holy Week focused on Old Testament texts appointed for these days. I'm Pastor Joel Brandt at Gloria Day Evangelical Lutheran Church in Huntington Station, New York. You know, one of the things I love about this space at Gloria Day is the way so many Old Testament stories find expression here. From the seat, that's the fringe hanging at the top of the glass windows throughout the sanctuary. It recalls the Jewish prayer shawl. To the symbols in the colored glass at the back. To the inclusion of a number of Old Testament women in the banners of our biblical women that hang all the way across the back of the sanctuary. To the depiction of an Old Testament story among the 7 stories shown in the etched glass windows all around the sanctuary. This is the Ruth window, and the text etched in the glass, "Thy God shall be my God, Ruth to Naomi." We are surrounded by these ancient stories and people of faith whenever then we gather for worship. The cross has central place, especially here in Holy Week, of course, yet it stands in the context of the rich faith of God's people extending over 1,000 years before Christ. The Old Testament text for Monday in Holy Week is from Isaiah, and we read the first of the 4 so-called servant songs, each of which found resonance in the New Testament and the early church as apt descriptions of Christ's own life and ministry. So here's the text for Monday in Holy Week. This is Isaiah 42, 1 through 9. "Here is my servant whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the nations. He will not cry or lift up his voice or make it heard in the street. A bruised reed he will not break, and a dimly burning wick he will not quench. He will faithfully bring forth justice. He will not grow faint or be crushed until he has established justice in the earth, and the coastlands wait for his teaching. Thus says God, the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who spread out the earth and what comes from it, who gives breath to the people upon it and spirit to those who walk in it. I am the Lord. I have called you in righteousness. I have taken you by the hand and kept you. I have given you as a covenant to the people, a light to the nations, to open the eyes that are blind, to bring out the prisoners from the dungeon, from the prison those who sit in darkness. I am the Lord, that is my name. My glory I give to no other, nor my praise to idols. See, the former things have come to pass, and new things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." The word of the Lord. God speaks in this passage. "I have called you in righteousness, taken you by the hand and kept you." Who is God speaking about? Jesus himself embraced this vocation as a light to the nations. It was in his inaugural sermon in the synagogue at Nazareth. That's told in Luke chapter 4. And Matthew 12 also quotes these verses when writing about Jesus as a healer. You know, scholars debate the identity of the servant in Old Testament times. Old Isaiah, who lived some 6 centuries before Christ, may have been speaking about an individual in his day, or even about the nation of Israel as a whole, called to this special task for the sake of the world. But New Testament writers and the early church saw and heard God declaring a new thing in the life and ministry of Jesus, the promised servant, filled with the Spirit of the Lord, who would not grow faint or be crushed until he had completed his work, and he himself declared, "It is finished," on the cross. As he had said to the disciples, "The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Connections like these between Isaiah's prophecy and Jesus' life and ministry explain why, other than the Psalms, Isaiah is the most often quoted Old Testament book by the authors of the New Testament. And as we'll see in the days ahead, it's not surprising why these servant songs take a center stage in Old Testament readings during Holy Week. For now, delight in the servant nature of Christ for you. Serving and saving from the cross are the climax of his mission. And our cross-shaped lives, formed by his love and extending that love to the world, continue this mission, his mission, that becomes our serving mission. Continue giving light to the world and continue as the new thing God is still doing. Blessings this Holy Week, you servant of Christ. The God of peace be with you, the Lord of love be your strength.